some people are addicted to healthy habits or seemingly healthy habits. Some people are addicted to other vices. I feel like we're all addicted in one way or another. Some addictions could be good, depending on how you manage them, and some addictions can be really bad. But I feel like as long as something doesn't cause you loss of yourself, sense of self, harm yourself or others, and affect your health or cause loss of money, as long as it doesn't do any of these, I think maybe it's okay. Yeah. But I feel like we all are in one sense addicted, you know. Some people, um for me, for example, I'm addicted to my phone a little bit. No, no, a lot, not a little bit, a lot. And maybe that's the cause of my, like my mom, our moms, you know, they said, and it's true, it's the damn phone, get off it, you know, that sort of thing. So what am I gonna do about it, you know? I'm just going to, I think one thing that happens is when we try to get rid of a bad habit, we try to just get rid of a bad habit, you know, without replacing it with something to take its place. So if I, for example, try to get rid of my phone addiction and try to prevent myself from spending less time on my phone, what can happen is withdrawal symptoms easily, you know, because if I don't replace that habit with a healthy one, it's more likely that I'll go down a spiral and suffer as a result. So let's see how this experiment goes. And yeah, I mean, what are you addicted to? I would like to know in the comments if you can, you know. And what are you working on currently that you can improve and all that, you know, just let me know. So I gave it my example that I'm addicted to this or that because I don't really consider myself a role model in any sense, you know. Like I don't think, I feel like we all can learn from each other, but we don't have to put each other on anyone on a pedestal thinking that they're perfect or anything like that. I believe in humanizing people, you know. So we all have our vices and all that, you know. That's the thing. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, I felt the pressure since I started my YouTube channel to be like maybe a person of wisdom and all that. But you know, I am innately, you know, and I don't have to pretend to be that way. I can be vulnerable, and that's that, you know. So yeah, some of us are no. What are we addicted to on it? A phone addiction. But one thing I'm replacing it with, yeah, the phone addiction. I'm watching more movies these days, so I make sure to concentrate throughout the entire movie and finish it. For example, I watched The Amateur yesterday. Recently, I also watched My Neighbor Totoro. And I also, there's many movies I watched recently. I just cannot name them off the top of my head. I need to write them down and all that, you know. But I might be, yeah, doing a movie review or something. Let's see if I want to do that. I just don't really like doing movie reviews as much because I feel like maybe I'm taking the place of a critic or something like that, but that's not the true. I don't want to do that. So I just want to maybe recommend good media that I'm consuming that I really like and all that. Yeah. So The Amateur, the movie was okay. Yeah, it was okay. But My Neighbor Totoro, I've watched it for the first time, really liked it. It was sweet. It was really sweet. And it had all these ups and downs going on. Without spoiling, without intending to spoil the movie, you know. What else did I watch? I did watch, yeah, Snow White as well, so yeah. But this video is supposed to be about addictions, so let's stick to that. Addictions. Yeah, I was addicted to improving myself in the past when I was in my early or mid-20s. Yeah, and mid-20s, I was really addicted to improving myself, and I felt like I was a broken person. I wasn't complete because people around me weren't the right people. I surrounded myself with the wrong people who made me feel like I was broken and all that, and I had to fix myself. I was a low vibration and all that, you know. So that caused destruction of my sense of self, my self-concept, you know. But now I realize, as much as inner work is important, it is equally important to live. It is equally important to engage in the present moment and just do what you're doing right now. For example, if you're painting, paint. If you're writing, write. If you're doing this or that, without thinking of, oh, I have to do this to improve myself all the time, you know, because when you become a self-improvement project, that's where it gets nasty, because you go down a spiral of thinking that you are not enough as you are, when in actuality, when in reality, you are the version of you that you are currently, and you are working on yourself in a balanced way, you know. But if you are working on yourself and overworking on that part, it can become an addiction easily. And I see that a lot, you know, like around me and all that. Some people, and myself included, you know, in the past, when I saw, so I can see my past in certain people as well, you know. I think, what is the answer to this, you know? Well, the answer is to always remind ourselves that we are worthy as we are, you know, and to remember that we actually are worthy as we are, with all our imperfections and all that. I mean, I have, for example, the addiction I mentioned prior, you know, I'm aware that I have it, but it doesn't mean I'm any less of a person than anyone else. I'm equal to everyone else, you know. There's no above or below. You're equal to everyone else. Just remember that. Keep it neutral. You are equal, and there's no one more or less than you. And neither is anyone else more or less than you. So we are all equal, but we are all fighting different battles in our lives, and we are facing different circumstances. So it helps that to know that, you know, to have a nuance in that and the context in that. You know, when they say, it's might sound cliched and cheesy a little bit, but when they say, don't compare your highlight reel. No, wait, what was that? Don't compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. That is really, really true, I think, you know. So, I mean, the phone addiction, the thing, and that can be this thing get applied to it. But I think for me, it's better now. I mean, my early 20s, I was proving my life to others, trying to put stories out there to prove that I'm living the life. And I don't feel as like such a need anymore. Even if I post this from a place of integrity, I feel, and compared to before, you know. So integrity is really important, being true to yourself, knowing your values and all that. I don't want to give advice. I just feel like talking, so I just decided to talking about addictions, you know. So yeah, we all have our addictions, you know. We do. What separates one from the other is how they decide to keep the healthy addictions in place, a good addiction instead of a bad. Inherently, addictions are bad, actually, you know. They're supposed to be a negative word, but you can still have. And when it's a good addiction, it's something you're passionate about. So it's something that you have to replace it with, the bad addiction. So if you replace the addiction with something you're passionate about, or something that really sparks a light in you, that's the way to go, I think. That way, a lot of things can be better, I think. I don't know if they can be, but I feel like they can be. You just focus on your passions. And because I feel like, yeah, we do waste time, and I do waste time sometimes, a lot, you know. So I just don't want to give a lecture or anything. I'm just reflecting on myself as well in the meanwhile, and making this video diary. So yeah, that was that. Let me know what you think, and I hope I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.